Hello, hello. I was going to have my camera on tonight, but for some reason, this particular account doesn't allow that. It just goes dark. It's weird. I don't know why. Like, because I have like a few StreamYard accounts. That way I don't ever have to pay because I have 20 hours free on each one. And the other one's camera works. For some reason, this is what we get. Oh, I should probably get rid of that. Click on the link thing there because there isn't one right now. I am having a quick snack because I wasn't paying attention to the time like I should have been, so I should have ate this already, but I thought I had another few minutes. Oh, excuse me. But hello to Lady Mist. Glad to see you here. I'll get to my complaining about the politics in just a minute. I need to get more food. Meow. Meow, meow, roadkill. Sorry, I was getting a little bit of food real quick. Because I thought I had a few more minutes and I didn't. So I almost choked my food. Hello, Bone. Purr, purr. You're all warm and fuzzy. Everybody's here. Aw. And like I did kind of want to yell at the camera tonight. Not quite in an Alex Jones kind of way. But like my camera's not working. As you can see, this is me attempting to turn it on. Like the camera works, but for some reason on this account, it's not. My other StreamYard accounts, it does work. So I guess we're just going to have the kitty with a rifle. Because that's just what we're doing tonight. I'm trying to eat my food as quick as I can. But I'm not trying to choke on my food. So how is everybody doing tonight? I hope all is well. Why does this pizza taste a little bit sweet? The sauce tastes a little sweet. Yeah. If I want something sweet, I'd have dessert. That old kitty is cool, though. Yeah, I used to have like a bunch of like little kitty sniper pictures. Let's see what I got. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Okay, there we go. Edit avatar. So yeah, we got that sniper kitty there. We got a kitty that looks like it's in Vietnam, kind of like right there. The very first one I started with was this one. It's what inspired it. Someone said cat of duty, Mew. And I thought that was so fucking cute that it inspired me to find other sniper kitty pictures. And of course, an adorable little Knights Templar kitty. Actually, you know what? We'll do Knights Templar kitty tonight. Oh, meow meow. Sorry, someone was saying hello as they were going past the door. But there's trouble in the Holy Land, and I'm going to be calling some people blasphemers tonight. So Knights Templar kitty will work. Okay. Meow meow, Lord Haster. All right, got my food down. All right, there we go. I did try to find some other stuff to bitch about, but I'm so incensed by the stuff I did find that I guess we're just gonna do that. So share screen. I'm gonna try to remember what to do in order because there are some things that are gonna require me switching to like Facebook because there's stuff there and bouncing around. So I'm gonna try to make sure I get everything correctly. Let's see, what's over here? Oh, that's something else. Second. All right, so we go over here. Ooh, there we go. All right. So the first, damn, someone's coughing hard. Damn, hope you're okay. Holy shit. So a Trump announced, damn, they sound like they got tuberculosis in there. Holy shit. I'll be right back. Let me close the door. There we go. Trump announces 100% tariffs on China in response to rare earth controls. So, for those who don't know, Trump is like super salty that China is not just surrendering their rare earth metals shit and or elements in general. And so he's throwing 100% tariffs, and that's going to make things difficult for us. Because America has become so reliant on stuff being made over in Asia that we're going to have a horrible time trying to come to terms with that. And I heard somewhere, and I have no way of letting me know if it's actually official, but there is talk that some of the stuff, here coming up for the holidays, that if you order it and it's coming from China, it might not make it. Or if it does get to our docks and the tariffs aren't weren't paid on it the way they wanted to, they might just throw them in the trash. And I'm going to be fucking pissed. So I don't know, like if you're buying shit off DHgate, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do because I had some stuff I wanted to buy off that. But let's see. President Trump announced Friday that he will raise tariffs on China in response to a move from Beijing to tighten its controls over certain critical minerals and rare earth elements. Trump announced on Truth Social that he would impose a tariff of 100% on Chinese goods beginning November 1st or sooner. Those tariffs will supersede, I'm sorry, I'm learning how to read. Supersede existing duties already in place on Chinese goods. And as you always know, you know who's going to pay for those tariffs and the problems. It's us. Just like when he said Mexico was going to pay for that wall. No, they fucking did not. And then like tariffs come in, that falls back on us. So basically, he's going to be punishing us because he's having a temper tantrum because China wants to keep their rare earth elements or making it harder to get. That's fucking insane. And I am pissed. He's like a bull in a china shop. I was really hoping he wouldn't be this bad. Like I heard what people said, and I hate most politicians. Like 99% of them I hate anyway. But I was never like one of those fuck Trump people. You know what I mean? I'll say fuck them if they've earned it. And he has. He definitely now has. On a lot of shit. But I was never just jumping on the bandwagon and hating Trump or hoping he would fail. Because here's the thing. I never hoped that a president will fail. I didn't hope that Obama would fail. I didn't hope that Biden would fail. Because if he is in charge of the country, if you hope for the president to fail, you or at least inadvertently hoping your country fails. I didn't want America to fail. So when you hear me talking shit about Trump, trust me, I hate Biden, Obama, Bush. I hate all of them. But he's the fucker that's in charge right now, so he's the one catching the shit. So some people think I'm a liberal because of that, but I'm like, no, I hate everybody. But I'm pretty sure I said that Biden should be dragged out of his house and beaten with sticks at one point during his administration. I'm pretty sure I did. So try to keep that in mind. The president said that his administration would also place export controls on any and all critical software. Fuck. There's a lot of computer nerds a lot of people in general who are going to be pissed. It's impossible to believe that China would have taken such an action, but they have, and the rest is history. China announced this week that foreign entities must obtain a license in order to export any products containing more than 0.1% of rare earth and that are either sourced in China or manufactured using the country's extraction process. China controls roughly 70% of the world's rare earth metals and earth. I feel like that's weird. I think they mean elements, but that just looks strange to me, but whatever. Rare earths, okay, I guess they're double downing on that. And critical minerals are used in numerous products, including cars, semiconductors, electronics like laptops. Trump, in his True Social post, called China's move absolutely unheard of in international trade and moral disgrace in dealing with other nations. I don't think he gets to talk to anybody about being moral. I'm sorry. Most politicians aren't. Trump earlier Friday had threatened countermeasures in response to announcements from Beijing. He suggested that he may no longer meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping. That's it. Because I think this is pronounced as a she sound. I do believe. So, Xi Jinping. There we go. I was trying to get it right. I'm trying not to butcher this shit. During an upcoming summit in South Korea as previously planned. Hold on a second. My kitten needs to talk to me real quick. Oh, hey, Biggerford. Sorry, my kitten encountered something with her burger. Apparently, the patties, when they're cooking them, they come with like these like little paper things around them. And she just found that paper thing in her burger. And she's like, "What do I do about this?" And I'm like, "Take a picture of it, definitely. And either call corporate, or I guess if you want to go back down the road and take it back to them, they'll probably give some, replace it." Poor kid never found something weird in her burger before, so she kind of didn't know what to do. Mm. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry. Anytime my little girl wants to come talk to me, I gotta, I always freeze everything for her. Anyway, all right, so I'm pretty pissed off about this. So let's see. Next. Now this won't be. I do try to get my articles to have some kind of rhythm and flow to it. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm just gonna bitch about it as I find it. Observers stunned by Trump's plan to send American troops to Israel. This is from 2 days ago. I don't know. I don't know different languages really, so I don't know how to say fuck no in a bunch of languages. But just pretend that I fucking have. I am so fucking tired of wars. I am so tired of veterans coming back with their legs fucked up, their heads fucked up, flag draped coffins because our country can't get its shit together. I'm so fucking tired of that. I'm sure the veterans are even more tired of it, but still. And these fucking wars are being cheered on by people who either A, didn't see a whole lot of combat, or B, never signed up in the first place. Now, I never signed up in the first place, but I'm not encouraging people to go fight for me and to go do these wars. I don't want a bunch of people getting killed in my name. You know what I mean? Observers were stunned by a new report revealing President Donald Trump's plan to send about 200 American troops to Israel to support ceasefire monitoring operations in the war between Israel and Hamas. I've come to the conclusion. Well, actually, I came to the conclusion a while back that Hamas may not be what we think it is, but I wasn't sure what. I think it's still a farce. I don't doubt there's some crazy people doing shit, but I don't think it's what we think. Because this silliness has been going back and forth for so fucking long. It's being used to milk more weapons and money out of us. They are two cheeks of the same ass. I mean, and I'm gonna get to the Qatar thing here in a fucking minute, but at least the most recent headline. But I mean, as everybody has probably heard me bitch about, and I'm happy to pull up the reference if you don't remember. But Israel was sending money through Qatar to pay Hamas because it was controlled opposition. So either Hamas got out of control and started doing its own thing, or they're still puppeted. Because I don't know if you've ever seen people try to stir up drama, and you got two people pretending to have beef with each other, and they get the drama going, it gets the clicks, the views, and it's fucking WWE shit. It's a fake beef, kind of like that. I feel like it's something along those lines. So I feel like this whole thing's a fucking farce to get money and to basically wipe out the land. And if you think there's no ethnic cleansing going on, even Charlie Kirk called it ethnic cleansing. And I can find that clip if you'd like. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Let me go do that. Let's see if YouTube still has it. Otherwise, I'll have to go and dig it out. Charlie Kirk. I don't have my keyboard working anymore, so like I just have to do it this way. All right. Actually, I'm going to have to unshare this for a second because if I share it like this, you're not going to be able to hear it properly. What is this? Which? Fuck. Share screen. Okay. So.
Try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein.
Right.
When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right. I gotta be careful the way I say this.
See what I'm saying? So it's not me just pulling shit out of my ass. If you're a fan of Charlie Kirk, then you've been knowing what he's saying too. But anywho, back to sharing the rest of the screen. So yes. A second. Let me get back to where I was. But anyway, so I feel like sending any of our troops over here is not a good idea. We shouldn't send our money or our weapons. We really shouldn't. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're fighting a war. Even if we're not directly doing it, we are participating in it. And we send our soldiers there, and we actually do have some people already there. They just kind of don't talk about it much anymore because it was like a crew of helicopter pilots were flying near that area about 2 years ago, and their helicopter was shot down, and nobody admitted it. Nobody admitted how it happened. That was a whole other thing. But anyway, let's see. So here, Hamas last-minute demand to release terror convicts cast shadow over hostage deal. Hours before the scheduled Gaza hostage prisoner exchange, Hamas has made a new demand: the release of 7 high-profile Palestinian prisoners. In order to move up the transfer of hostages to Israel, Hamas indicated that freeing as few as 2 could accelerate the process, though Israel has consistently rejected such demands. Talks resumed Sunday to finalize arrangements under the first phase of the Washington brokered ceasefire, while logistical uncertainties mean the exact timing of the release remains unclear. And honestly, this silliness goes back and forth. And they've already been freaking, like, one news source was saying that Hamas had walked away from the negotiation table completely, and that was day before yesterday they claimed this. Then they claimed that Israel was making a last-minute demand that Hamas didn't like, and that was why they had walked away from the table. And now they're saying this. This sounds like some bullshit, honestly. Like, I don't even know how they have any hostages left, because, like, last year and the year before, they were doing a lot of hostage exchanges. And it was only 250 people they claimed were taken. And I know I show that video a lot, but, like, I have a little video that counts down using our media and Israel's media to count down how many people have been released So there should be like negative 30. It fucking makes no sense. This fucking shit right here. I don't know what kind of Trojan horse bullshit's fucking going on, but let me go back to this real quick because I'm going to share my Facebook screen. So I want you to hear. Hey, Optic Racer. Meow, meow. Let me.
You literally.
You say when ICE officer Israel is now
Nothing like a
Israel is now targeted.
Oh, I know where it's at. It's over here. My bad. Trying to figure out where to put that. I sent it to my little friend. All right. So this clip right here is what Trump was talking about in 2017 about Qatar. So I get it.
Unfortunately, the nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
Has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury job?
Yeah, don't forget that country gave him a fancy fucking private plane and claimed there was no strings attached.
Jumbo jet, and how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
Today, we're announcing we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho.
Shoot them all. Fuck it. I know I shouldn't be like, oh, you can't say that about our politicians. You know what? Someone should. And actually do a good job this time. Fucking hell. I mean, they're allowing a Trojan horse in. You call me an asshole all you fucking want, but like, prove I'm wrong. Shit. Have faith in the government. I know you fucking joking. What else can you do? Well, it's not legal, but there's stuff we can do. But yeah, there's a base inside the U.S. See, it was shocking. It was shocking and it's offensive. I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding. I mean, he was just calling them terrorists not long ago, and now they're gonna have a fucking. And people were, all over TikTok and all over everywhere. People are like, gonna allow them to have a military base here. And Hegseth, fucking whiskey leaks over there, is fucking going, oh well, it's not an Air Force base, it's an Air Force facility. I'll give that motherfucker $20 if you can tell me the goddamn difference. Are you fucking kidding? And give them fucking planes. Are you shitting me? Like F-16s or fucking whatever the hell it was. Fuck that. So stuff I thought I was gonna well, don't do that. But man, I'll tell you what. And this is so bad, even MAGA people are like, what the fuck is happening? You got suckered. You got played. That's what it is. When the deep state owns everybody, the House always wins. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't bother voting, because there was nothing worth voting for. I was going to vote for somebody for president, but she wasn't allowed to be on my ballot in Oklahoma. You might give me shit and be like, Jill Stein. Yeah, well, Jill Stein would not have a fucking Qatari Air Force base here, would they? No, I bet she fucking wouldn't. And we wouldn't be sending 200 fucking troops to Israel either if she was in, because she's against war. So you may laugh at my selection, but it would have been a hell lot better than what we have now. Sorry to be mean. Sorry. Back, where was I? I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I was to even. Okay, that's where I was. Okay. I think this is where I was. Is this where I'm at? I don't even know anymore. I got way too many tabs open, so I'm trying to figure out which tab this is that I have open. Oh, found it. Okay, it's this one. Okay, my bad. And then, just because it's here, it says Education Department employees surprised to find that their email automatically changed to blame Democrats for the shutdown. 5 furloughed employees told NBC News that they had put up a nonpartisan out-of-office message, only to see that their message had changed without their permission to a partisan one. So, yeah, the ability to speak out and say things is getting more and more narrowed. I know that doesn't quite fit everything else that was going on, but that's, But let's actually have another thing where we can hear a little more about what he's saying. Let me pause that and get the fucking volume working on it.
No one other than President Trump could have achieved the peace that what we believe will be a lasting peace in Gaza, and Qatar played a substantial role from the beginning, working with.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that Qatar is even part of NATO. Are they? Because I don't even think we have a Middle Eastern country that's not even a part of NATO, as far as I know, of having a military base here. I'm sorry. I know I'm going on about that, but what the fuck?
With our folks to ensure that came about. So I want to thank you for that historic piece. We look forward to joining the president as that gets, it's already been delivered, but as that's formally signed as well. And I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. Location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s and pilots to enhance our combined training, increase lethality, interoperability. It's just another example of our partnership. And I hope you know, Your Excellency, that you can count on us.
We've been sold out. That's what that looks like. Because here's the thing. If Qatar, let me find it real quick. Oh, it's not letting me type it right. Oh, okay. But yeah, if Qatar was helping pay for Hamas, letting Israel funnel money through them. Sorry, I'm trying not to be enraged right now. I'm trying to maintain my calm. So give me a second, because I have like 100 things that are trying to come out of my mouth at the exact same time. And it's going to be a jumbled, ranting, national security threat. Just give me a second. Nothing like they have any right. They'd be like, you're arrested for national security, making threats to national security. Motherfucker, you're letting a fucking Qatari Air Force base be here. Fuck off. But here's the thing. If Israel, specifically Netanyahu, because this was Netanyahu's thing, technically he was funneling money through Qatar to Hamas to keep a controlled opposition. What do you think is going to happen to us? Because Netanyahu already owns our government. He already is paying off most of our fucking politicians. So what do you think is going to happen when Israel controls your politicians and they've been known to funnel money through Qatar to pay for Hamas? What do you think is going to happen here? Because we hear the story about the Trojan horse, but fuck, at least they didn't have the F-15s. Jesus Christ. I don't know much about that area in Idaho, or Idaho in general, other than they have potatoes. That's about all I know. But wouldn't it be weird if there is something, a nuclear facility or something not far away? Because I don't know if you can look that up. Can we look up that and find out if there's any nuclear facilities in Idaho? I'm just thinking, like, first thing off the top of my head, something they could do to just decimate part of the United States, since the Trojan horse is now being allowed in. But okay, whatever. And I asked Chris, I was like, why do you, my husband, Chris, I asked him, I was like, why do you think they would do something like this? And he goes, well, you might have a hard time getting American soldiers to kill their own people, but you could probably get Qatari soldiers to do it pretty easy. And I was like, fuck me. That makes sense. Because if people rebel hard enough against what Israel's been doing and are fighting to have politicians not being paid off by Israel, it would be perfect for Qatari to have a fucking Air Force base here to back them up if they decide to come after American civilians. I'm just saying, I mean, that makes fucking sense to me. I know some other cities seem to be okay letting troops run tanks down their streets, but I fucking won't. That shit comes to Oklahoma. God fucking help them. No. It'd be all clandestine cell theory over here. I ain't playing that shit. Like, Like, if I'm gonna see action, I might as well do it before I'm fucking old and need a walker to get around. But yeah. All right, let me get on to some other shit. Let me fix the way I have this done. I didn't know I was gonna sit there and bitch about that one topic as much as I did, but fuck, apparently I am really mad about that. So I don't know if anybody's still supporting Trump out there. If they are, there's some people on my Facebook that still are. They'll occasionally post pictures. I'm not putting her name out there like that, but she'll post pictures of her and Trump when she's gone to Mar-a-Lago, and she's not even like mentioning the stuff like, darn, I don't know why Trump's doing that. I want to believe in him. Like, no, she's ignoring all the negative shit about Trump. And I'm like, you are, no, girl. All right, let's go to this mess. Vance says Trump is looking at all his options as the president threatens to invoke the Insurrection Act. Now, if he wants to do that, that's probably going to cause an insurrection. How are you going to have an insurrection when nobody's insurrecting? I don't know. Let me get my drink real quick. Okay. Vice President J.D. Vance indicated in an interview on NBC Meet the Press that Donald Trump was not opposed to invoking the Insurrection Act. Asked by a moderator, Kristen Welker, whether the White House was seriously considering invoking the 1807 statute, the president is looking at all his options. I feel like that shouldn't be one of them. Because, as far as I know, the Insurrection Act would be something they could use to try to violate the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878, I think. I don't fucking remember, but it was something like that. That you're not supposed to have military doing law enforcement shit on U.S. soil. Did nobody see The Siege with Denzel Washington and Bruce Willis? Like, go fucking watch that. There's literally a scene in there where Bruce Willis's character explains that this isn't good to do because, you know, the military is a broadsword, not a scalpel. If you do this, basically there's going to be a bell you can't unring. So, you know, homework for y'all tonight. Go find The fucking Siege and watch that shit. Right now, he hasn't felt the need. He hasn't felt he needed to. The Insurrection Act would allow the president to deploy U.S. military domestically for law enforcement purposes. Yep, yeah, to violate the Posse Comitatus Act. Fucking balls. The military is typically not allowed to deploy on U.S. soil for domestic law enforcement purposes without congressional authorization. Well, I don't trust any of them, so who knows? The NBC News previously reported that the White House officials have been increasingly serious talks about whether Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act. If Trump were to invoke the law, sorry, it's kind of dry in here. It would be the first time since former President H.W. Bush invoked the law during the 1992 Los Angeles riots. And what's going on now is not even at the level of Los Angeles riots. There's hilarious footage all over TikTok. And you might be like, well, TikTok is biased or the people on there are biased. But they're the people who are literally on the ground there viewing it. And I've seen live people go TikTok live. So it's not like they can edit that. And they're showing what's going on. And it's nothing like the LA riots. Not a thing like it. You know how many people are running around quietly and humorously protesting in front of the ICE building in Portland with inflatable costumes, like frogs and what looks like anime characters, dancing around doing one-step cha-cha or whatever the fuck that is. One step right there. Or something, I forget the name of the song, but it's cha-cha, you know. They're sitting there dancing around to shit. And the only time anything happens is when cops or ICE go in there and start attacking people and hitting them with fucking pepper balls. I mean, I'm seeing the actual live footage, not the shit the media tells you. Vance's comment comes as the White House has federalized National Guard troops in an attempt to deploy them in Oregon and Illinois, aiming to target Portland and Chicago. Both moves have been temporarily blocked in court, thank God. The White House's push to deploy troops to Democrat-run cities has alarmed critics who argue the move is an overreach and being done for political purpose. And it is. It is. Chicago's always been a piece of shit. We all fucking know it, okay? But it has never warranted federal troops. It is insane. They have the nerve to do this to Portland and Oregon and basically invade. But again, they're going to allow a Qatari base. Yeah. They're basically trying to beat people into submission, people who protest, because they know the protests will get worse because the more shit's going on, the more we're going to protest about it. So they're hoping to start beating people into submission now, so you're less likely to do something when things get even worse. Responding to the question about the Insurrection Act, Vance pointed out to attacks on law enforcement officers who have been enforcing immigration laws. They've not been totally doing that. They've been doing some other shit. All right, let me close that door. My daughter opened it, and now I'm hearing everybody coughing in there. All right, sorry, kitty. Come on. I had a cat laying in front of the door, so I couldn't close it, so I had to carefully move the kitty. All right, sorry. Let's see. The problem here is not the Insurrection Act or whether we actually invoke it or not. The problem is the fact that the entire media in this country, cheered on by the few far-left lunatics, have made it okay to tee off on American law enforcement. Well, first off, the Insurrection Act is the fucking problem here. Absolutely. Because here's the thing. If they find an excuse, successfully find an excuse to bend and break the Constitution, you will always have an emergency. That's the thing. Being cheered on by a few. If it's only a few, you're telling me the media is being controlled in this country by just a few far left people? It sounds like a boogeyman. It sounds like they're just trying to do the whole pitting us against each other thing. But anybody who understands the Constitution and understands what this could mean, trust me, it's more than just a few far left, for one. And actually, the few on the right are quite upset about this too, but they're not mentioning that. And made it okay to tee off on law enforcement. First off, yeah, kind of. Because a lot of people I have known for years talked about if things became tyrannical, they would go up against, the government. Well, what do you think that looks like? Exactly. I mean, are you picturing just teeing off, so to speak, on a field against some redcoats? It's not going to be like that. This isn't the 1700s. The people who are going to come and enforce this shit are going to be law enforcement. So when I see people, especially in Oklahoma, fucking God help me, I see that on the back of their pickup trucks has a fucking come and take it sticker on one side and a support the blue on the other side of their back glass. I'm like, pick a fucking struggle, buddy. Because who do you think's going to come in when it's time to take your guns? Who do you think's going to fucking do that? I mean, I suppose it could be Qatari troops now, I guess, But it's going to be law enforcement. That's going to be your first wave. Unless they do martial law. Then it'll be your military soldiers that'll come and do that. And if they won't do it, they'll find someone who will. So you better get cool with some shit real quick, because you're going to end up having to do some shit you never thought you'd have to actually do. So if I see people fucking teeing off against law enforcement at this point, good. It means you still have a little bit of a spine left. Because quite frankly, if things get bad enough that they're finally on your front lawn, it's already too fucking late, quite frankly. I'll be honest about it. Because everybody, and I think I'm one of those people a little bit too. Because, like, oh, if it shows up here, if it shows up here, we're already fucked. That's really it. Like, I'm not sure there was any way out of this. And I don't think Kamala Harris would not have been a better option. She would have been a different option, but not a better option. The only difference is is the left might have been more okay with what was going on, maybe, but then the right would have been upset because they're okay with breaking the law. Both sides are okay with breaking the law in the Constitution as long as it fits their narrative. But I have been seeing better behavior out of the left as far as constitutional shit recently. I'm surprised by it. And I hope they remember that next go around. But, all right. So, pressed as to whether there was a rebellion in cities to trigger an insurrection act, Vance accused the cities of not keeping the statistics properly without offering proof. Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to say something. You can't just do an insurrection act because a few people in inflatable costumes are upset. Like, that's, you know. Actually, do I have any of that footage? Well, I do have some, actually. What?
You literally can join.
You say you're. When ICE officers have to street battle
There.
against Antifa, hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, this is what's going on in front of the ICE building in Portland, Oregon. These inflatable costumes. This one's dressed like a squirrel. I saw a shark a minute ago. I think there's a couple of chickens.
Israel is now targeting.
When ICE officers have to street battle against Antifa, hand-to-hand combat every night to come and go from their building.
Yeah, that kind of silliness is what they want to send the military after. Because they're talking about there being aggressive protesters in front of the building. Yeah, aggressively dancing inflatable costumes dancing in front of the fucking ICE building. Like, come on. That shit is nothing like the LA riots. Where's that other one? Didn't I have another video?
You literally can join.
When ICE
Israel.
No.
Israel is now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to start that over. Anyway. Oh, and speaking of ICE, wait till you hear this shit. Hello, Charlie. How are you? Let me do that. So, yeah, if I share whole screen, you can't hear the sound, so I have to do it individually. So there we go. All right. I'm about to lose my fucking shit on this.
You literally can join ICE and be God's appointed avenger, right? Who
The idea that joining any government agency helps you be God's guardian or God's holy warrior or whatever is the most insane fucking blasphemy I have ever heard. Sorry. Listen close.
seeks to carry out God's vengeance on the evildoer. Immigration is evil. So to
And notice he didn't say illegal immigration was evil. He said immigration was evil.
join the proper mechanism through ICE and to become, in that sense, God's appointed deacon to carry out vengeance on the evildoer who is devouring the inheritance of the children, that is a righteous thing. You can join ICE today and make Jesus smile.
I fucking hope somebody hits him with a car. I'm not joking. I would not apply my brake if I saw that motherfucker in the street. You're trying to tell me that would make Jesus smile? Lord, have mercy. All right. Take my glasses off of this. Y'all can't see it. Leviticus 19:33 through 34. When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, I don't know what the word sojourn means. I had to actually look it up. It means to be a traveler or a temporary resident. I had to look it up. I didn't fucking know what that meant. You shall not do him wrong. The stranger who sojourns with you shall be as the native born among you, and you shall love him as yourself. And you were you were a stranger in the land of Egypt, and I am the Lord your God. Matthew 25:35. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink, and I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Deuteronomy 27:19. Cursed by anyone who perverts the justice due to the sojourner, the fatherless, the widow. All people say amen. Hebrews 13:2. Don't forget to show hospitality to the stranger, for in doing so, Some have entertained angels without knowing it. Let's see. Zechariah 7:9-10. Thus the Lord said, the Lord of hosts said, execute true judgment, show kindness and compassion every man to his brother. Do not oppress the widow, the fatherless, the foreigner, the poor. Ezekiel 47:22. You shall divide it by the lot for inheritance to you and to the stranger who sojourns among you. They shall be as you, the native-born children. They shall inherit with you among the tribes of Israel. Let's see. Jeremiah 7:5-7. For you thoroughly amend your ways and your doings. If you thoroughly execute justice between the man and his neighbor, you do not oppress the foreigner, the fatherless, or the widow, then I will let you dwell in his place. Exodus 22:21. You shall not wrong a foreigner or oppress him, for you were a foreigner in the land of Egypt. Exodus 23:9. Do not oppress a foreigner, for you know the heart of the foreigner, since you were a foreigner in the land of Egypt. So nowhere in all of that. Oh, let's see. Malachi 3:5. When I draw near to you for judgment, I will be swift witness against those who oppress the hired worker in his wages, and the widow and the fatherless, and those who were deprived the foreigner of justice. None of that man said. That man spoke nothing but blasphemy. Nowhere in the scriptures does it say to be shitty ass and fucking treat foreign people like crap. And note, like I said, he didn't say illegal immigrant. He said immigrants are evil. He said immigration is evil. Last I checked, my family was from Scotland and Ireland. I mean, granted, we would kind of sit here against our will because, you know, those who didn't get killed by the English, they were sometimes sent to the colonies. That's our story on that one. But nonetheless, we did stay. So, you know, whatever. But this blasphemer,
you literally can join ICE and be God's appointed avenger, right? Who seeks to carry out God's vengeance on the evildoer. Immigration is evil. So to join the proper mechanism through ICE and to become, in that sense, God's appointed deacon to carry out vengeance on the evildoer who is devouring the inheritance of the children, that is a righteous thing. You can join ICE today and make Jesus smile as you, with a gun, pack foreigners into the back of.
You say that motherfucker. I hope he gets struck down. How he didn't get struck down already, I don't fucking know. But I hope he gets struck down for that blasphemy. And I'm not even a church-going person, but even I know my fucking limits. You know, I'll talk a lot of shit, but I won't blaspheme. I don't even try to blaspheme other people's shit. Like, I wouldn't be there burning a Bible, but I wouldn't be there burning a Quran either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to blaspheme anyone else's shit either. But holy fuck, him suggesting that you could basically be a deacon of God by joining ICE, that is sacrilege. I'm sorry, it is. Dude in the frog costume is Antifa. Yeah, they would say so. Oh, well, lots of hugs, roadkill. Meow meow. But, you know, I'll play this part for you too, just because, like, I like it.
If you're a Christian, then don't tell me about church on Sunday if you're silent on slaughter come Monday. Because Jesus didn't bomb villages. Jesus didn't bulldoze homes. Jesus didn't put children in cages or drop white phosphorus on hospitals. No, the Jesus I know flipped tables in temples and stood with the poor, the exiled, the beaten down.
Sorry, I'm turning it down because on my end it's pretty loud.
That's why if you truly follow Christ, you stand with the oppressed, not the oppressor. You stand with Palestine as their homes are stolen and their bodies buried beneath rubble. You stand with Yemen as U.S.-made bombs rip through wedding tents and water tanks. You stand with Iran as sanctions choke its people while billionaires feast. You can't wear the cross and carry the whip You can't serve Christ and Caesar at the same time. You either walk with the Prince of Peace or you march with the merchants of war.
And I like that. You cannot carry the cross and the whip. Amen. I like that. You cannot serve Jesus and Caesar too. Damn right. And I think that, and that's why I have it as my Facebook story, because not many people see my Facebook post, but they see my Facebook story. By God, they do. And hell, I mean, 7 viewers. That for my Facebook story, that's actually pretty good. And I even got some hearts for that one. Nice. I was gonna see what the next one was gonna be.
When ICE officers have to
Yeah, that's hilarious. These inflatable costumes, and that's what they're scared of. Let me get my other stuff. All right, so, okay. Vance is a fucking idiot. We covered that. Okay. Now, this part I actually believe is bullshit. USA Today, not Donald Trump part, surprisingly. I'm actually taking Donald Trump's side on this one. Donald Trump falsely says Biden FBI, I would just said FBI. Biden FBI placed agents in January 6th crowds. I absolutely believe that either there were agents or at the very least they were informants. Now, if you look at this article here, this is from last December 2024. FBI had 26 informants at the January 6th Capitol riots, and most were involved. And that's a Department of Justice report. I'm not going to play whatever the fuck they're talking about, but I mean, the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground in Washington, D.C. during January 6, 2021 storming of the Capitol, most of whom engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. I would actually go so far as to say they were agent provocateurs and they helped create the chaos. They knew tensions were high and all they had to do was light the flame. But yeah, so last year they already said it. Now, Trump is saying there was like 200 and something. I think that might have been an exaggeration. He has a tendency to exaggerate. But it says that President Donald Trump on October 12th, today, I guess, repeated false claims about the deadly January 6th attack, suggesting in social media that the former president Biden placed FBI agents within the crowd. I don't know if Biden actually did, because that man couldn't find his ass from a hole in the ground. So I don't know if he could, but I'm sure the people around him might have. And actually on this, and partially because of this and because it just makes sense, I actually believe Donald Trump on this one. I actually do. Because they'll play people back and forth. They really will. It said, all right, so Trump is saying Biden placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. Now, I don't know if it's that many. Because here it says 26. But these could have been informants, and it could have been 200 and something agents. That's possible. But like I said, Trump has a tendency to exaggerate. So it could be 27. It could be 24 agents. The point is, I know damn good well the FBI fucking did do that. It may not be that many, but I know they were there's no way they weren't fucking there. Not a chance. Anytime some kind of shit's going on that could turn the tide one way or another, the FBI or whoever is going to send people in to infiltrate. They do it all the time. So I absolutely believe Donald Trump is correct on this. And like I said, I mean, even this coming out last year is part of the reason why. So thought I'd bitch about that part. So, all right. Now getting back to the ICE stuff. A WGN journalist violently detained by ICE during raids. And apparently they're doing that to a few. And a few people have already been detained that were reporters. There was a lady that was a reporter, and I think it was either Chicago. It might have been Chicago where she was arrested. But I can't find the article for her. I don't know why. But local news producer who was arrested during an ICE raid on Chicago has been released. Debbie Brockman, who works for Chicago's WGN television station, was captured in a viral video on Friday as she got wrestled to the ground and handcuffed and forced into a van by masked federal agents, The Guardian reported. A witness who captured the video asked Brockman to say her name as she was being violently detained. Yeah, she's a husky girl. Like, she, and probably my age or older. Like, she did not need 2 or 3 people detaining her and cuffing her. Like, that was not needed. Like I don't know. I don't have a picture of her, but she looked freaked out. Like, it was kind of crazy. And ICE has been getting really out of hand because also A missing teen with autism in immigration custody. So the kid was missing for a few days, and they were like trying to get all local cops. They were trying to figure out what happened to the kid. Oh, here we go. 15-year-old was reported missing after he was last seen on October the 4th. A Houston teen with autism who went missing for almost a week has been in ICE custody for several days, and nobody bothered to fucking tell the parents. Like, the parents were looking, everybody was trying to figure out what happened to the poor kid, and he was detained. And the problem is that all law enforcement should have accountability, but a lot of them actually don't. And ICE is even worse than the regular. The cops generally have something called qualified immunity that helps them get out of trouble. So, like, they get a slap on the wrist for shooting an unarmed person. ICE is worse than that. ICE is actually better funded than the police. They are better funded, and they're getting away with more shit. So they're able to arrest kids, reporters, detain them, do anything they want, and nobody's is holding them accountable. I mean, ICE the other day in Portland shot a minister in the head with a pepper ball. The guy was unarmed. Like, there's video of him, and like, I can't hear what the guy's saying, but apparently he was like quoting scripture or something, and they shot him in the top of the head. You can go look for that. Look up Portland minister hit with pepper ball. Like, that should help you find it. Anyway, according to the organization, the teen was selling fruit with his mother and sister on Saturday when he asked to go to the restroom. His mom was reportedly busy tending to customers at the time, and when she turned back around, he was gone. After trying to find her son, his mom called Houston police and filed a missing persons report. Hours after the press conference on Friday, the Houston police confirmed with Fox 26 that the teen had been found safe and his family had been contacted. So they attacked and grabbed this kid who was going to the bathroom. Let's see. Fox 26 later learned from FIEL, I don't know what that is, that a law enforcement agency found the teen and he had been in ICE custody in the Houston Detention Center since Monday. He is reportedly okay. The family is undocumented, and they are working to get him out of custody. So that's wild. So it makes you wonder, if the family is undocumented, why didn't they not go get the rest of the family too? Why did they catch this kid going into the bathroom? Because from what I understand, they followed the kid into the bathroom and attacked him. That's so inappropriate. Following teenage children into the bathroom to attack them? Bruh. What, you couldn't wait outside the door and let him fucking finish? Jesus. October the 5th, police department contacted ICE about a minor they had picked up who claimed to be homeless and from another country. Yeah, okay. And ICE worked with Houston Police Department to see if they could identify the minor or any of the minor's family members in the U.S. When no family could be identified, ICE helped Houston Police place the minor in Department of Human Services of Refugee Settlement. And at no point was the minor in ICE custody. Well, that's what they're claiming. Okay. Well, if the ICE goes into the bathroom and cuffs the kid and takes him away, technically he's in ICE custody. You know? Like, if I get handcuffed by a police officer, I'm in police custody at that moment. You know what I mean? But the point is, one, they should just leave kids the fuck alone. And, you know, if you just waited a few minutes and watched the kid, you would have seen him go back to his family. I'm assuming the kid did not go very far. So, but whatever. Let's see. Apparently, the reporters being detained by ICE is like somewhat of a common occurrence. Reporters arrested during some kind of march. Spanish-speaking journalists arrested while covering protests in Atlanta. Let's see. It's like another one. A MAGA reporter tells Fox News he was arrested in Portland. This was October 4th. He's still saying it's the left's fault for him getting arrested, which I thought was extremely weird. because lots of people are getting arrested, and for some reason he's still blaming Democrats for it. So I don't know. He's kind of lost his mind. But yeah, they've been going after reporters quite a bit. Let me see these real quick. Oh, there. Police investigate after CBS Chicago reporter's truck is shot with a pepper ball outside the ICE facility in Broadview. Oh boy. So yeah, they're running around these little paint gun looking things, fucking just shooting pepper balls at people. The Broadview Police Department has opened a criminal investigation after the U.S. Immigration and ICE, basically ICE, agent allegedly shot a pepper ball at a WBBM Channel 2 reporter's truck Sunday morning outside the agency's holding facility, which has been the center of heated protest. It happened the same day as independent journalist was released after being detained by federal immigration agents while covering the protest outside the facility. Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills said that in a statement that the police department expects full cooperation from Department of Homeland Security. You know damn good and well they're not going to get full cooperation. CBS reporter Azel Razia posted on social media shortly after the pepper ball incident. An ICE agent took a shot at my car today, absolutely unprovoked. My window was open and the chemicals went all over my face. I've been puking for 2 hours. Yeah, getting hit with a pepper ball will do that. So they're just running around kind of doing whatever they want to do and not being held accountable for any of their behavior. Let's see. According to Razia, there were no protesters present when driving past the facility about 50 feet from the entrance to check for activity. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE, did not immediately respond for a request to comment. So yeah, so the guy was the reporter here was just driving by to see if there was anything going on to report on, and they shot a fucking pepper ball into his vehicle. Fucking assholes. Oh yeah, I was just looking at this, trying to find resources or references to reporters being arrested. Because I know if I say some shit, I know somebody's going to want me to show them. So I save you the trouble by just doing it. No, the frog guy, the amphibian. The little costumes are so fucking cute. I didn't know. Wait a minute, has it been on this the whole time and didn't switch over? I was showing y'all articles. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Did I not switch it over? Son of a bitch, isn't it stuck like this with that fucking video right there? Even though I was showing, looking at other articles. Fuck. Well, shit. My bad. Anywho. Well, I gave you the gist of it anyway. All right. Well, I feel better after bitching about that because I've been kind of feeling kind of meh about talking about it because it's just kind of disillusioning. But, oh, and by the way, slightly off topic. Oh, you can still hear me. Well, okay. I like having what I'm talking about on the screen so that way everybody can see what I'm seeing. Because for so long, I bitch about stuff on the internet and people are like, what's your source? So I decided to save myself that trouble. And I just always like to have the source already ready to go when you see it. So, my bad. I didn't know it hadn't switched. So there's been this fucking video the whole time. Oh, actually, yeah, there is another video I do want you to see, though.
Israel is now targeting Christian churches. All I have to say is thank goodness the NSD and FARA registration exists. There is a multi-million-dollar deal in place to create propaganda campaign in favor of Israel to all Christian churches near the West Coast. More specifically through it, it looks to be in the areas of Southern California, Southern Nevada, Arizona. They have a list of all the churches, all the attendees who are going, and they're going to start mass pushing propaganda in support of Israel. For instance, they'll have mobile setups that will visit Christian colleges, churches, and Christian events and highlight some of the atrocities from October 7th, shows footage of IDF explaining the difficulty of fighting bad guys in hostile territory with civilians. They will be attending all Christian events. They will even have Christmas messaging. Yes, you heard that right. Suggest targeted messaging changes for digital mega churches in December. Israel protects Christians like no other nation in the Middle East. Israel is the birthplace of Jesus.
And when I saw that video, it dawned on me. Yeah, that little cut to the Christmas music was kind of funny. I like that. But this is the kind of thing I call the push. And I've talked about it before a little here and there, that certain things get pushed onto the algorithm and put in front of us on our feed, whether we ask for it or not, to try to change the tide of things. And I guess this is how they do it. I've just never seen anything that actually kind of explained it. But basically, it's like geofencing, I guess. And I think they do that with a lot of things. Like, I bet in some areas they will put up anti-immigration stuff and showing you. The news has been caught showing you the protests from 2020 when they had all those crazy riots going on and shit getting set on fire. And the news fairly recently had to apologize. I'd have to go find it. But they basically got caught using 2020 footage for the stuff in Chicago and Portland this month. Like, they used a little bit of that footage to try to make it look extra scary. Because who's gonna freak out if mainstream news is showing people in inflatable costumes dancing around? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna feel like that requires the military. So in certain areas where they have a high concentration of people who are Republican, they're probably putting that kind of those old videos and just the worst angles and the worst articles to those phones for you to see, and then sending different stuff with a different message to other groups to try to twist and bend and create more tension and hatred among us. That's what they're doing, and they're using this technology to do it. So that's why I try to look a little bit of everything and think about what makes sense. And plus, like I said, on TikTok, there are people who go live on their TikTok channel, and you can't edit that. They're just looking around and showing how much the protest is not violent, you know? And they're in front of the ICE facility. And, you know, occasionally, you know, ICE agents come out or their law enforcement come out, and the little characters in the inflatable costumes come up and start doing like little dances and act like they're kind of humping at them and stuff like that, shaking their tails at them and shit. It's hilarious. And like, I don't know if Trump, the people around Trump, like that Christy Gnome bitch and the rest of them, are showing him old footage, telling him, oh, look, it's a fucking war zone. There's no fucking war zone down there. The worst stuff happens when the law enforcement get in there and start hitting people and start fucking pepper spraying them. That's when shit starts riling up. But yeah, I absolutely challenge anybody, whether you have TikTok or whatever. TikTok is easier because people are actually going live from their own personal accounts, so you can actually see what is legitimately happening with the people who are actually there. And go and look. You can't do it by the hashtags. They are hiding the hashtag Portland, so they're hiding some of the hashtags. So you just got to try to look up inflatable costumes at protests, things like that, to try to find it. You have to find other ways to find the footage you're looking for. But I challenge anybody who's listening, go look. You will see that it's not what Fox News and CNN or Fox News is telling you. It's not. But anywho, y'all are awesome. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all coming by and listening to me complain. But I'm trying to decide if we should do a movie tonight, because I've got a few movies actually like lined up. Let's share entire screen real quick. Like this. 6. So I've got 6 movies lined up, and they're Queen of Bones is from like 2023, but I never heard of it. It looks cool. Roof Man, which is a new movie that has Channing Tatum, I think. maybe. But we got that available, and that's in theaters right now. Good Boy looks like a horror movie, and I guess it's about a dog that's encountering bad stuff. A loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owners, Todd, not owners, plural, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows as dark entities threaten his human companion. The brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves the most. So, yeah, this came out earlier this month. And I guess it's about a dog who, I guess, protects his owner from weird shit. Then we got, well, that's not a new movie, but I saw clips of it on TikTok and it looked interesting. When did this come out? Pop-ups. This came out last month, and I hadn't even heard of it. The clips look interesting, though. It's called The Astronaut. And this one is called this is a show. Never mind. This is a show called Last Frontier. And I found a new platform called Watch Party because Cosme was not working for everybody. So this should allow you to come in and see the movie. Like I have the little thing to invite friends and a little place where people can chat and stuff right here. And so hopefully it works. I mean, works properly for everybody. So I wish Good Boy looks good. All right. So should I start that in a little while? I'm thinking about it because a lot of times if I start a live stream before or after 7, almost nobody shows up. Because I did one like 2 days ago. I showed a movie and like it was weird. Nobody would click the link except for like one person. And I didn't recognize the person in the chat. And nobody spoke in the chat on YouTube. But like 4 people almost the whole time was watching. But there was nothing on my screen. It was very weird. It was like they were just lurking there. But I wasn't talking really. They were just kind of, I don't know if it was just 4 people who were already asleep and their show was ended and it automatically went to mine or something. And that's why they didn't interact. I don't know, but it felt very like it was lurking. It was very weird. Anywho. So if you want, I can, let's say 9 o'clock, I can start the movie Good Boy tonight if you would like. If not, we can do it tomorrow. That is also fine. Well, actually, no. Shit, tomorrow's the 13th. I am going to go to a place called the Flicks House Brewery. Or the Flicks Brew House, sorry. And they have like some older movies. And this one is Monster Squad. And I have not seen it on the big screen since I was like 4. So I am absolutely tripping about that right now. So I will not be able to do this tomorrow night. So if you want it tonight, I can do that. So just let me know, and then I will go and get that set up. I will get it set up to do it at some point. So I'm going to go and find the picture for it and make the thumbnail like right now. And then, I know, right? Yeah, Monster Squad. I was so excited. I was like, oh my, somewhere in this house, I have it on VHS tape. It's probably not in very good condition, but I have it. But I'm super excited about seeing it on the big screen. Like, oh my God. Ah! Let's see. Boom. Let's see. Images. There we go. I've got the picture for it. Like that. Screen. Yeah. Sweet. Upload thumbnail. All right. So, do you want me to show that movie Good Boy tonight? Or like on the 14th or something? let me know. Because I'm setting up the little time on the thing now. The 14th. All right. 14th. I don't have anything on the 14th, do I? Let me go look real quick. Let me go check my calendar. Okay, it does not look like there's anything for the 14th. So, the 14th, relax and watch MS. Don't know what that means. But, all right. So, 7 o'clock on October 14th. Create live stream. So there we go. And then I will go set my phone's alarm to remind me so I don't forget, because sometimes I will do that shit. There we go. All right, so I've got it all set up, so we will watch Good Boy in a day or so. All right. I love you guys. Y'all are awesome. And I shall talk to you later. Mwah.